I just watched Daleks in Manhattan for the first time in like forever and wanted to get my thoughts down. I was hesitant to watch the episode again because I remember disliking it. Why? What exactly didn't I like last time I watched it? First up, some of the accents sounded so forced. In fact, my memories of Tallulah and the Showgirls were just painful. I hated Tallulah's song. It was really annoying. The pig slaves looked terrible, and especially Laszlo. I couldn't suspend my disbelief and get lost in the story when they were on screen. And what was the point of them anyway? I really didn't like how all the workmen started arguing with Mr. Diagoras as if on cue. It just looked and sounded really forced. And the doctor, rigging up a DNA analysis thingy from stage lights and a radio. Good idea, but how the hell is he going to do that? I mean, really. And of course, Dalek sick, as a human Dalek. God, how I hated that last 30 seconds when he emerges from the Dalek casing. Watching it again reinforced my dislike of some of these elements, most especially Tallulah's song. It's just awful, it makes no sense, and it's irritatingly repetitive. Even after the rest of the episode, that damn "you put the devil in me" refrain is still stuck in my head like a bad record. And again, the pig slave makeup was a real letdown. But actually, I found myself really enjoying the episode. Despite Tallulah's somewhat forced accent at times, there was real subtlety in her performance, and I caught myself wishing they'd done more with her. I think she would have been a brilliant companion for a couple of episodes. Felicity Anderson, over at Doctor Who blog, Behind the Sofa, said in her review that Laszlo should have died at the end of the follow-up episode, Evolution of the Daleks, so that he could be a more tragic figure. And I think I agree, but I won't get into that. I'll just say that I'm surprised to find that I'd have liked to have had Tallulah stay with the TARDIS for a while. Frank and Solomon were perfect. Hooverville was believable, and having the juxtaposition of the poverty of the people camping in the park and the Empire State Building in the distance was masterly. The Doctor finding himself confronted with the pig slaves in the sewers was eerie and actually kind of frightening, and I loved Martha shouting "Report!" at the Daleks. I know some of you really don't like the soppy love stuff, but I actually really enjoyed Martha and Tallulah's little chat in the dressing room. It was well written and nicely acted. The Doctor's bitter reflection that the Daleks always survive while he loses everything was also touching. I really think credit has to go to writer Helen Raynor and director James Strong, and everyone involved with the production side of things, especially the lighting director. The episode is just so interesting to look at. The lighting and camera angles actually make the Daleks look threatening again, after being made a bit lame in previous episodes. I also have always believed that having just a few Daleks lurking in the shadows manipulating events from the sidelines is always more effective and gives them a more powerful and devious feel, instead of the huge armies of flying Daleks that RTD Russell T Davies likes to use in his Dalek stories. And so I think that actually helped me enjoy the show more. The Doctor and Martha were both great again. I really like Martha. I like what she represents. Strong, capable, and independent woman. And I think this episode does a great job of showing that. From little things, like her using her common sense and observational skills to beat the Doctor to finding out what the date is at the start of the episode by picking up a newspaper, right through to her staunchly commanding the Daleks to tell her what's going on, which really stands out to me in stark contrast with Rose's feeble address to the Sycorax in the Christmas invasion. How long had Rose been with the Doctor, really? And how long had Martha been with him? Really shows the differences between them. As I said before, I liked the romantic subplot, and I do like Martha. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not a shipper. I'm not watching it for the romance. I just think it adds a nice, believable aspect to the companion's travels. Some will fall for him, and will inevitably be disappointed. It could get tiresome if every companion does, so I was grateful for Donna Noble in Season 4, but I think Martha's story needed telling. It shows a side of the Doctor that I think has been underplayed or ignored, and makes her a more believable character. She isn't defined by her infatuation. It's there, but ultimately she remembers who she is, and walks out with her head held high at the end of the season, and for that, I adore her. What else is there to say? I'm still not happy about the pig slaves. I mean, if the Daleks wanted to have unquestioning slaves, maybe they could have just made some Robomen or something like they have in the past. The pig slaves weren't a terrible idea, and they were reasonably well handled. The makeup just looked a bit rubbish. they should have at least have, you know, like, painted, like, down their necks or something, you know, extended the makeup down Laszlo's neck and maybe put some on, like, his hands, on the pig slave's hands, maybe, like, some, like, hoofs or something. And damn it, that song! Urgh! Sadly, we're subjected to it again at the end of time, but, oh well, never mind. Overall, a pretty good episode. It's just a shame what followed. Am I right?